I am ready for all the 2024 new releases. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is April if you've never been here before, and today I want to start off by talking about the 2024 releases. Now, Friday, I do have a special collab with just fantasy romance releases, so I'm not going to be talking about fantasy romance releases today. These are all the other, okay? We have historical romance, we have straight fantasy, we have historical fiction fantasy, we have some thrillers and even some sci-fi on here, okay? I have a lot to go over, so grab a beverage, grab a snack, and let's get started. Starting off on January 9th is Any Duke in the Storm by Amelie Howard. I actually just was lucky enough to receive an ARC for this one, and I'm so excited about it. I have not been doing very well with my historical romance ARCs lately, but I think this is the book that will put me back in the mood. This is the fourth book in the Daring Dukes series. I have loved every single book in this series, so I'm really excited about this. This one's about a notorious spy who's trying to infiltrate the West Indies smuggling ring. She goes undercover as a ship captain, but a troublesome new sailing lieutenant, second captain, guy, a troublesome guy, okay, on her crew, keeps aggravating her at every turn. Again, Amelie Howard is one of my favorite authors, so I can't wait for this book. On January 23rd, I have Her Adventures in Temptation by Megan Frampton. This one is the third book in her School for Scoundrels series. This one involves a fake engagement story between a scandalous orphan and an adventurous woman. This series has been a little hit or miss for me, but I'm still really interested in it, and I'm excited to see how it goes. On February 2nd, we have The Tainted Cup. This is by Robert Jackson Bennett. I absolutely loved his last series. Although I haven't finished the third book, I should probably do that. Locklands, I think it was. But the other two were phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see what this book is about. All I know is that it's kind of like a murder mystery fantasy that's like Sherlock Holmes Watson style. So say less, give me a detective duo and I'll be there. Also on February 6th, we're getting the next Christina Britton. This again is another historical romance and it's called The Duke's All That. This is another one of her Sinful Spinsters series books. Ian thought his wife was dead, but when he finds her in a cozy little seaside town, he tries to bring her back to Scotland. He just wants to expose her for the liar that she is. It sounds like there's more to that story, so that should be good. In March, I have a horror romance. We'll just go with romance. It's the second book from Beatrix Hollow. I'm currently reading Cute But Psycho right now, and this one is cute but creepy. It comes out on March 20th. This again is another Why Choose monster romance set in a psychiatric ward. Everyone's crazy, everyone's magical, and it is just a lot of fun. On April 9th, there are two amazing books coming out. One is from Leigh Bardugo. This is The Familiar. This is a historical fiction fantasy set in Madrid. Love that. It sounds like there is a lot of magical elements and nobility in this book. Not quite sure what it's all about. Kind of want to go in blind about it. The other one coming out on April 9th is Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. I absolutely adored the first book by S.A. Barnes. This is a sci-fi horror book and it's really action-packed and it's really moody. And also it's set in an abandoned ancient planet. So this could be very good again. I definitely will be picking this one up. On April 16th is a thriller, One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. Again, I read When No One Is Watching, I think a couple of years ago, and I really loved it. It's a thriller about a caretaker of a historic estate. She finds herself trapped on an island with a murderer. So, love. Also on the 16th is To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. This says it's a debut mashup of fantasy and sci-fi and the tragedies of colonization. This has to do with a girl who can pull life from people. She uses this power against invaders from the heavens to save her family, and she has to team up with an enemy prince to save the people she loves. I love all the family vibes in this, so this just sounds really adventurous and cool. On April 23rd, we get a new book from Sarah Hogle. I cannot wait for this. It's pretty much the only contemporary romance that I'm excited for. This is Old Flames and New Fortunes. All I know is that this is going to be funny, it's going to be hot, and I can't wait for it. I don't even know, I don't want to read the synopsis. I just want to grab it and read it. Also on April 23rd, we have a new novella from P. Jelly Clark coming called The Dead Cattail Assassins. This just sounded cool, and again, it's just barely over 200 pages, so it's just a fantasy about assassins. Come on, give it to me now. I love it, and this cover is to die for. On May 14th, we have The House That Horror Built by Christina Henry. I read Near the Bone by Christina Henry, and I thought that was a fantastic thriller. And I can't wait for this one. It says, a single mother working in the Gothic mansion of a reclusive horror director stumbles upon terrifying secrets. That just sounds cool already. Like, I love like a haunted mansion, even though I'm deathly scared of like ghosts in the house. But this just sounds like horror stuff in the house. So I hope there's some gore. I honestly hope there's some gore and some creepy shit. And in June, I only have these up till June. On the 4th, we have Fiasco by Constance Fay. This is the follow-up to Calamity that I read earlier this year, and it was one of my top 10 books of the year. This is a sci-fi space opera romance. It's so action-packed, and I cannot wait for the next one. I just love like a Star Trek romance type of thing, and that was like my catnip last year, and I found it in this series, so gotta love it. Also on the 4th, we get the next book from Bryn Weaver called Leather and Lark. Butcher and Blackbird was the book to read last year. This book is a hate to love Grumpy Sunshine marriage of convenience where he falls first. I'm sure both of these two are psychopaths again, but with an adorably macabre flair. Bryn Weaver is just a fantastic writer, and I'm really excited to read this one. Also on the 4th is Isabelle and the Rogue from Liana de la Rose. The first book in this series was definitely one that I really wanted to read this year that I never got to. It's still on my list, so whenever I can find it, I will read it. This one is a story about a Mexican heiress who defies Victorian society to protect her country, and a British hero who makes it his new mission to protect her. Yeah. I really want to read these historical romances from Liana de la Rose. I need to get to them. The next one I don't know too much about. All I know is it's called The Stars Too Fondly, and it's by Emily Hamilton. This comes out on June 11th. All I know is it's a debut sci-fi fantasy space opera, and it's part sapphic rom-com. I'll take it. I'll try that one out. I mean, I am all about the sci-fi next year as well. I want to read a ton more sci-fi. And then the last one on my list, we have a cowboy romance from Lila Sage. This is Swift and Saddled. Everyone was loving Done and Dusted last year. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my list. I'm actually going to do a cowboy vlog later this year. And all I know is it's a cowboy era contemporary romance. Again, contemporary romance is not usually for me, but I'm willing to give it a try. And plus, these covers are absolutely gorgeous. I just can't resist them. So those are all the 2024 releases that are not fantasy romance that are on my radar. Let me know if you're wanting to read any of these as well. Maybe we can buddy read them as they come out. That would be really fun. And again, check out my video on Friday for all the 2024 fantasy romance releases. There are a lot on that list, and I can't wait to share them with you. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!